Thanks for tuning in to the Villo Vision podcast, where I, AJ-Leilani, get to learn new things through your vision. This is actually our first video episode, so thank you for being here. Today's guest is a very special one. Originally from the Bay Area, he was the first male dancer on the UCLA dance team, and upon moving to Las Vegas, he choreographed for teams like the Raiderettes and the WNBA Las Vegas Aces wildcard crew. But just recently, just 3 days ago, this is breaking news here on the Villo Vision podcast, he made his debut as one of the lead roles in the show Awakening. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Devin Mallory. Devin, thank you so much for being here.
Of course, thank you so much for having me.
Now, you made your debut as Light in Awakening, and so far in Vegas, you've had a packed career. And as much as I want to talk about literally everything, we only have the space for an hour. I mean, maybe it's like 45 minutes now. But I really want to hone in on this new blessing, on this new opportunity for you. So this is going to be maybe a challenging question, but in one word, what's one way that you can describe how you feel about this new opportunity?
In one word.
That was 3.
In one word?
Okay. One word,
I would have to say blessed.
That's a good one. Stay blessed.
Yeah, stay blessed.
Now, for anyone that hasn't seen Awakening, one, you're missing out. It's at the Wynn, Las Vegas. It is an action-packed, mind-bending show, and one time definitely is not enough. But not only that, it has a very rich story. So, Devin, can you tell us a little bit about Awakening's story and kind of what your role plays into that?
Well, so outside of the lead role, I also am an ensemble dancer. The show has a mix of dance, circus, and magic as well. I would describe the plot of the story without spoiling everything as there are 2 entities. There's the god of darkness or goddess of darkness and god of light, and they find each other. They create harmony, but as life, physics work, light and darkness cannot coexist at the exact same time. So they kind of break apart, and chaos is kind of spread throughout the realms. Darkness loses all of her memories of her love for light, and light is broken into these crystals. And these crystals are spread throughout the realms of water, air, and earth. And so in the show, you'll meet about 3 characters, and the show's about their journey, basically going through these realms, trying to find light and bring back kind of harmony to this world in Awakening.
And the show is very element focused, and we'll get into that later. But I want to ask you, what was your reaction after finding out that you had booked this lead role?
I was shocked. I have been a dancer through and through. I have such a love for performance, and I think dance in many ways has opened my eyes to what performance is and can look like, and all the variations that I am very interested in doing. But coming to Awakening, I strictly had the mentality of being an ensemble dancer. So when they came to me asking if I was interested, I was just fully shocked, excited, but also like, is this real?
Tell me about that transition coming from strictly just the dancer role, because now you kind of you're mic'd up, correct?
Yes.
So you kind of have an added element of acting. And every dancer, every performer has that element of acting as well. But now, this is an added layer. So how's that transition?
Yeah. The transition for me has been rigorous in the sense that I've made it rigorous for myself. My directors, as well as my dance captains, all of them have really set me up for success in best understanding the show, the meanings behind things, as well as physicalities and body language. For myself, in order to best prepare, I spend like all my days in the car, in my apartment, rehearsing and trying to play with new ways of sound, whether it's finding my version of the character in my voice, as well as how I carry myself bodily, my posture. I play with that a lot at home or in the car, just at any time, even at the gym when I have a second in between sets. I really pounded my brain into this character as much as I could. So the transition from an ensemble dancer, which again, dance is like what I live and breathe at this point, at this age. Sorry, hit the mic.
It's okay.
I live and breathe dance, so there were challenges learning the ensemble dance track that I'm in, while there's also a very different element of acting and again those kind of vocal cues that I'm learning as a lead role that has been the most challenging, I guess.
Yeah. And it's not like your normal 9 to 5. Like you were saying, you kind of have to find a way to embody this character outside, off the clock, but also pour yourself into the character. So I like how there's kind of like that reflection aspect to it. Okay, I have a fun fact for our viewers.
Is this a surprise?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a surprise. I hope it's a surprise to you.
Okay.
So I'm just going to give a fun fact. I have my notes right here. So, fun fact. I had Devin in for an interview around the same time last year. Like I said, it's May 6, 2026. Got to reiterate that. And so last year, 2025, we can do math. I had Devin in for an interview actually in Lead Library. Today, we're in the performance studio in Greenspun Hall. But this was when he had first booked the show for Awakening as an ensemble member. Your debut as Light was just a few days ago, May 3rd, 2026. Do you want to know what date it was?
No way.
When we interviewed the first time last year, May 3rd, 2025. So I just think that's a really, which actually, no, let me not spoil that. So I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of that last interview. So the last interview, okay, actually, no, let me go backtrack even more. History. So you moved to Las Vegas in what year?
2022.
2022. In that interview, you said that when you moved to Las Vegas, Awakening was the first show you saw. And immediately after, you were like, that's the show that I want to dance in. Then in 2025, you booked the show. And you said that was a very full circle moment. The fact that you had booked the show as a dancer as the show that you had seen when you first moved to Vegas. But now it's like an exact year later, I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
So it's basically a double full circle. So what I'm trying to get at is, how do you feel about this second full circle?
Yeah. Going back to even your first question of how I would describe it, truly, I'm still processing it. I only debuted like 3 days ago.
This was like 3 days ago, okay? Like this is new. This is fresh.
This is fresh. I really do just feel blessed. I think that, and that doesn't even fully encapsulate how I feel, but I'm very in tune with like divine timing and things. And I don't know if we talked about this in the initial interview a year ago, which is crazy, is when I auditioned for Awakening in 2024 as an ensemble dancer, they actually called me back to read for Light. And that was in 2024. And I was like, what? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not here to do that.
And like for all the dancers, like, you know that sometimes you'll get thrown into those situations when you're just there for a dance audition, like you're there for an MJ audition, but they'll tell you like, okay, now you have to speak, or you gotta sing MJ, right? Like they'll throw you into those acting things, and you're like, I didn't sign up for this. So it just shows that, like, you know, you were kind of planting a seed that you didn't know was going to bloom. So like later.
No, absolutely. So looking at the circles, the multi-circles universe we're living in now.
We're just drawing a Venn diagram at this point.
It's so funny because, again, when they reached out to me, they said they were reviewing audition footages of people reading for Light, and they found mine. And I was like, you found it?
Wow.
I don't even remember what happened that day, because I was just so in shock. So the fact that they revisited it and also wanted to re-offer that that lead role to me, it was truly a complete honor. And I like identify heavy as a dancer, so to open myself up to this new branch of art, sometimes it feels like imposter syndrome. But aside from all the support I've received and also the time and effort I've put into this role, the full circles do kind of feel like it's meant to be, in a sense. But again, it's only been 3 days, and I'm kind of like, what?
Well, you should be very proud of yourself, because you worked hard and you deserve to accomplish good things. And like we said, like, you never know when you're planting a seed. Like I could probably be planting a seed right now. You could be planting a seed right now. Let's talk about the technical aspects of the show, because there's always something unique about every show on the strip. But the thing about Awakening is there's like that 360 aspect. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Awakening has a 360 stage a round stage, if you don't know what I'm talking about. They also have a 360 theater, meaning there's essentially no bad seat in the house. And not only is the stage a circle, but it also rotates. And it also splits. It's just like the production level is like, I can't even comprehend what goes into doing that. And so it splits at times and adds like levels and a depth to this show. But I want to ask, from a dancer's perspective, what is so unique about performing on that type of stage?
I would say my first thought as a dancer, performer, dancing on a 360 stage is that, like you said, there's no bad seat in the house. Therefore, you have to perform front, side, and back the entire time. Something that I learned or had to learn very quickly when being integrated into the show as an ensemble dancer is you could be performing here, but you could also be rotating at the same time. You could be running in the opposite direction of the rotation. You can be jumping with the rotation. And so having a strong understanding of like physics, your force, your body, as well as maintaining the integrity of your character while like your eyes are like constantly shifting.
So you're
almost.
basically multitasking.
Absolutely. It makes it a challenge, but it does also feel fun.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of moments in the show where I call it like my Beyonce moment. Like Beyonce's like coming down from something or coming all the way up. Yeah. There's a lot of cool entrances and exits we do in the show.
And there's people like flying in the air.
But
what's a Vegas show without that? Okay.
That's right.
We are in Vegas.
Exhibit A.
I wanted to ask, was it hard for you at first to kind of like maybe find your center of gravity on that stage? It looks hard.
Yeah.
It's harder than it looks, I assume.
Yeah, it's so funny because sometimes I struggle with it even today, now that I've already been in the show for almost or over a year now. There's a moment where we're all frozen in a pose and the stage is rotating, and it's almost harder to be in a still position than in motion while the stage is moving, because you have to maintain your center of gravity while moving.
And like your balance.
Absolutely. And then when the stage stops,
you gotta...
Yeah, because...
There's a little reverb.
Exactly. Because we're supposed to be still, you have to almost fight the force in which the stage is stopping.
We have to fight Newton's... or Newton's first law.
I know, that's right.
Okay. But yeah, center of gravity.
Yes, it's a fun new challenge, and I feel like I'm working out the entire time. Yeah,
it's very interesting, and like from an audience perspective, it's very appealing, and it's something I've never seen before. Now, we did mention the elements in the show. They kind of bounce through different elements, through different music, and each song complements each element. So I want to talk about some of my favorite parts in the show. And the time I did see it was a few months ago, maybe in November, when Devin was an ensemble. He still is, but he's also light now. Like, he's all over the place, finding the center of gravity.
For real.
And so when I went, I got to see Devin like literally right in front of my face, just rotating. But a few of my favorite parts, one, I want to say the water part. Not only just because of the music, but the costumes, yes, the music, but the overall vibe of it, I feel like it was a very whimsical vibe. That's the word that I would use to describe it. It was just very fun and bubbly, not only literally. Another favorite part, I like the kind of earth element. I'm not sure if it's still in there, but the big puppet that they have, that's literally controlled by like
fellow dancers.
A lot of
puppetry
like,
in the show.
how many dancers are on like one hand of this puppet?
Technically, it's broken up into pieces. I don't think this is a spoiler because I'm pretty sure Michael Curry, the creator of the puppetry, has done multiple interviews, as well as there's videos online on our Instagram. Yeah. But there are individual pieces broken down, like you're looking at a skeleton in anatomy class, and there's one person responsible almost for like each part, if that makes sense. And it's kind of hard to explain, but when you see it in the show and you see the visual aspect of it, it's like, how is, like I said, like the production of it, like how did they even come up with any of that? But one of my very, very favorite parts is when the ballerina and
like I said, it's hard to explain it. You just got to see it. Maybe I'll put the video up. A ballerina is literally on her partner's head, on the shoulder at first, but then and she ends up on his head, in an arabesque or in a front leg hold, literally arches back. So basically, for my non-dancers, that she's on her partner's head on one leg in point shoes. And I think that should never go underestimated because that's just straight talent. And so the whole reason I'm talking about my favorite parts is because I want to ask you, Devin, if you could play any role in Awakening with no limits, which one would you pick?
It might sound cliche, but I'm going to have to say Light.
Okay, besides Light.
If I could play anyone, any like character from like the small details in the show you're saying as well.
Just, yeah.
You know, I will say the water choreography is fierce. It's like a very jazzy, sultry, undulation-y
I think that's
piece.
what I was trying to explain.
Yeah, and
but
so
all I said was whimsy.
No, but very much it
Yes.
is very much that. And there's also this kind of, there's a story within water where it's very light and bubbly, and then it gets a bit dark and edgy. And there's a bit of a, I don't want to say rock. I don't think rock's the best way to describe it, but there is like a hard staccato energy towards the tail end of water, which is really fun, I think, to dance in.
Yeah.
And it's just one of the few numbers I'm not in, so I kind of just watch it every night, and I'm like, oh my God, that looks so fun. The choreo's super like ooey gooey.
Yeah. It also kind of balances the show. And I'm going to say this again, it's whimsical. But like, you know, the show's so like dramatic and like light and dark. But then you need the water. You need the earth. You need the air.
Yes.
You need all the elements in life. Now we're going to talk into the logistics of being a professional dancer. This episode's all over the place, but we want to cover everything. How are you taking care of yourself? This is, hopefully dancers are watching this, professional dancers and non-professional dancers. How are you taking care of yourself, both mentally and physically?
I had to learn very quickly when I came to Awakening that doing your passion as an occupation can be very taxing. Understanding that what I do as an occupation will not always be the most gorgeous thing. There will be challenging moments. It was important for me to recognize that and then also take action to give myself space, breaks. I took it really hard at the beginning mentally when I wasn't taking as much dance class as I wanted to, or teaching as much as I wanted to when I came to Awakening. But I also had to like learn to give myself grace in that I'm dancing almost 7 days a week now. It is okay if I don't dance more than that, if there was a capacity to do so. So giving myself grace mentally and physically was really important for me to learn and practice. And I still have to practice that and remind myself, because sometimes I get excited and I'm like, oh, I want to take a class today. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I will pass out if I don't rest. So taking space.
Listen to your body.
Yes, listening to my body, journaling. I love to do that as well. In terms of physically, I do go to the gym. I have like my own gym goals outside of being a dancer. But the gym for me is a bit of maintenance, also just like goal setting for me and what I want to aspire to, I guess.
Aspire to inspire?
To lift?
What am I saying?
What's my...
Let me not talk. Yeah. Aspire to achieve. Like,
that's right. I know that's right.
But yes, aspire to inspire.
Yes, that part. Your Honor. So at the gym, like it is in a way a good cardio, but also stamina builder, especially in the show. The show's 75 minutes, and we just have to make sure we're like maintaining our muscles. So that's been like a good way to support myself, but also on the opposite scale, another way that I support myself physically is I also take breaks in terms of the gym, giving myself grace. Sometimes I'm sore from the gym, but also from work. And so that double whammy, I'm like, Devin, just relax.
Yeah.
You will survive today
just
by staying
Kick
at home.
the feet up.
That's right. Stay hydrated, fuel yourself, but it's okay to take breaks. So
yes.
I think that's the theme for both physically and mentally.
Yeah, and I think everyone can learn from that. It's okay to take a break, to slow down. Now, I'm going to talk about another fun fact. We're just here for the fun facts.
Right.
But so if you didn't know, not to make this about me, but I used to dance for the WNBA Las Vegas Aces. But I say that because Devin was my coach. So this is how we really know each other. I know, another full circle.
Yeah.
At the end of our 2024 season, we went to In-N-Out. What's your In-N-Out order?
Oh, gosh, it depends on my heart.
Keep it concise. Keep it short. Because I got to tell them about the fun fact.
I'm a classic number 2 with onions, raw, with the tomato, with everything on it.
Okay.
Fries, regular, chocolate shake at the end.
Okay, I'm going to say number 2 as well. Grilled onions, animal fries, Neapolitan shake.
Okay.
Okay. But anyways, I say that because at the end of our Aces season, we all went to In-N-Out. And Devin not made us participate. He encouraged us to participate in this exercise. Mind you, this is an In-N-Out.
My face.
This was like a little team bonding we had, and he had us do this little thing called a rose, thorn, and bud exercise. This is the first time I had ever heard of this. Like, I don't know, I'd never heard of it. And so it's essentially a reflection technique. The rose is a success and a highlight. The thorn is a challenge or area for improvement. And the bud represents a new opportunity or an idea. And so this is another full circle moment because I'm asking you, what is your rose thorn bud in this new season of light?
My rose would have to be my commitment and resilience in growing in the role. There's only so much I can do before hitting the stage, which I learned. Like, my first show is just gonna be my first show. There's nothing I can do about it, except stay present and also just kind of bring out all of the work I have as much as I can without like fully blacking out and forgetting everything I did. So I would just say, yeah, the work I put in, I would say, is my rose from this new chapter, this and kind of upcoming, hopefully continuing chapter. My thorn, sitting with myself more, or not sitting with myself as much. I think as much as I love to journal and I love to be self-reflective, I find myself having these ebbs and flows of avoiding my feelings or avoiding the things I know I need to do. So I'd have to say that has been a thorn so far that I'm trying to work towards to hopefully make it a rose, but in the future. But my thorn, would have to be not sitting with myself as much, and that's something I just want to work on, to really face whatever I am avoiding, whether it's small, big. And my bud, the thing I'm like most looking forward to in the role of light specifically, I think, is just finding myself more in the character. I think I've already created a foundation while also listening to my directors in the feedback they give me, also while looking up to all the other lights that have came before me or that are also still performing in the show. So finding a nice balance and my own pocket in the show, that's something I like really look forward to doing. And I've been telling myself since I was approaching my debut, although I was very nervous, I was reminding myself I need to stay present in this and remember, like, after today it's not going to feel the same ever again. And that, I think that'll just come with more reps as well in the show. So just looking forward to growing in it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you found that foundation already. And I can definitely relate to your thorn. And I'm going to relate this as, not only because we're as professional dancers, I feel like we're always constantly looking for the next gig, the next show, the next class, the next city. And I've kind of taken a break from dance to focus on journalism and that. But even that, as professional journalists, it's always the next story, the next station, the next city. So I only say that because, like you said, being present, we're always hustling, especially with our hustle culture that we have these days. We're always hustling that we forget to look back behind us and see how far we've come. So I want that to be a reminder for viewers to just stay present, maybe even do your own rose, thorn, bud exercise So if you can take anything from this episode, besides our funny selves, take a moment to reflect and slow down and take a beat.
Period. I love that.
Well, Devin, I want to congratulate you one more time on your new role as Light. I'm wishing you the best as you embark on this new and exciting path. And thank you so much for coming in to share your knowledge and your comedy. And if you viewers at home want to stay connected with Devin, watch him on his Light journey. His Instagram is at Devin Mallory.
That's right.
DevinMallory. Okay,
Boom.
fire.
That's
I can spell.
right.
Again, I'm your host, AJ-Leilani, and you're watching the Villo Vision podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next vision.